Hello, viewer, and welcome to Worldview, a program designed to bring you up to speed with trending developments the world over. My name is Xavier Robert, reaching you live from Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. And on our top stories today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announces he was replacing Kiev's Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov, calling for new approaches in the ministry. U.S. President Joe Biden expresses disappointment that his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping plans to skip upcoming G20 summit in India. And Gabon's coup leader Brice Nguema sworn in today as transitional president, taking control for an unspecified period after overthrowing country's 55-year Bongo dynasty. Details of these stories and more in a moment. First on Worldview today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced he was replacing Kiev's Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov, calling for new approaches in the ministry a year and a half into Russia's invasion. Reznikov, appointed 3 months before Moscow's invasion, has led Kiev in negotiations to equip its forces with modern weaponry from allies. His removal comes in the midst of Kiev's counteroffensive and during Ukraine's general push against corruption in response to EU's requests. Zelensky said in his address that Oleksiy Reznikov has been through more than 550 days of full-scale war. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces have downed 17 Russian drones over the southern Odisha region. Regional Governor Oleg Kuiper wrote on Telegram that 17 drones were shot down by air defense forces, adding that there were no civilian casualties, but said that there were also hits in several settlements of Izmail district. Warehouses and production buildings, agricultural machinery and equipment of industrial enterprises were damaged. Reports say that the Danube River port of Izmail has become a main export route for Ukrainian products via Romania, following Russia's withdrawal in July from a UN-brokered Black Sea grain deal that had aimed to ensure safe grain shipments from Ukraine. Ukraine's military said Russia had used Iranian-made Shahed attack drones in the massive overnight attack, which was directed at the civil infrastructure of the area of the Danube. The strikes come a day after Ukraine fought off a barrage of Russian drones in the Odisha region. In a separate development, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has arrived in Russia's Black Sea resort of Sochi for talks with Vladimir Putin, focused on reviving Ukraine's grain export deal. Reports say Erdogan was accompanied by a large delegation that included Turkey's defense. According to his office, the Turkish leader is due to make brief opening remarks before the meeting, which is due to be followed by a press conference. Turkey has been trying to revive a UN-backed agreement that allowed for the safe passage of grain from 3 Ukrainian Black Sea ports. Recall that Russia pulled out of the deal in July and then started launching repeated airstrikes against Ukrainian port infrastructure. NATO member Turkey is hoping to use the grain agreement as a basis for restarting peace talks between Moscow and Kiev. In the UK, Britain's King Charles III has reached the milestone of his first year as king, with his reign so far characterized by a smooth transition from that of his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II. Reports say the anniversary, which will be held on Friday, is expected to be marked privately. Recall that Charles was officially crowned alongside his wife Camilla on May 6 at London's Westminster Abbey in front of royalty and global leaders. North Korea staged a simulated tactical nuclear attack drill at the weekend with mock atomic warheads attached to 2 long-range cruise missiles that were test-fired into the ocean. Reports say that the operation was a counter-action drill in response to joint military activity by US and South Korean forces that the agency said had escalated tensions in the region. The report stated that a firing drill for simulated tactical nuclear attack was conducted at dawn of September 2 to warn the enemies of the actual nuclear war danger. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff JCS said that an unspecified number of cruise missiles were launched towards the Yellow Sea, adding that the specifications of the missiles were being evaluated. According to reports, the United States and South Korea were pursuing confrontation hysteria with their latest joint military drills. Away from that, now India has launched major military drills today, including along contested border areas with China, which will continue during the G20 summit in New Delhi that President Xi Jinping will skip. A defense official told newsmen that the 11 days of drills named Trishul or Trident were an annual training exercise in northern zones bordering Pakistan and China. India has been wary of its northern neighbors' growing military assertiveness, and their 3,500-kilometer shared frontier has been a perennial source of friction. Tensions flared again last week after a Chinese map claimed land that Indian authorities say is theirs, including territory close to where they battled in 2020. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and China's Xi held a rare face-to-face meeting in South Africa last month, but a foreign ministry spokeswoman in Beijing said China's Premier Li Qiang will attend the G20 summit on September 9 through 10. India is also seeking to develop closer ties with Western countries, including fellow Quad members, the United States, Japan, and Australia, which are also wooing New Delhi as an alternative to China. Meanwhile, US President Joe Biden has said he is disappointed that his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping plans to skip the upcoming G20 summit in India. Biden told reporters this on Sunday, saying he will get to meet him, but did not say when that meeting may take place. Beijing has said that its Premier Li Qiang would lead China's delegation at the summit in Delhi this week. Xi and Biden last met at the G20 summit in Indonesia last year. US-China ties remain tense despite a flurry of diplomatic visits from Washington this year to revive dialogue. China's foreign ministry neither confirmed nor denied Xi's attendance at the Delhi summit when asked pointedly at Monday's press briefing. But news reports, citing unnamed sources familiar with the matter, said last week that Xi does not plan to attend. The news comes amid worsening relations between China and India. Among other things, the two countries are facing off against each other along their disputed border in the Himalayan region. Just last week, India protested after Beijing released a map that claims the state of Arunachal Pradesh and the Aksai Chin Plateau as Chinese territory. Xi and Biden may still have an opportunity to speak in November at a meeting among leaders of the Asia-Pacific Economic